welcome to week 5 of the CRL4 season. We have an exciting track for you guys today. It is The Wall. You can take a look there in the bottom section of our track as we look here. The Wall is right there. Cars are going to be struggling to get over this thing. I mean, it is interesting. Cars are going to hit that, and we're going to see some interesting results because of The Wall. It might not look like something crazy, but I promise you, we are going to see some crazy matchups. Last season, CRL3, 7 out of the 8 matchups were upsets. Let's see how many we upsets. We're going to start with Peyton versus Abby. We got Ultima versus Mike Wazowski. Now, Abby is hot off of her first win last week against her division. Peyton is also hot off a win. This division, hoping to keep up the success, though, in a hard division. And Mike Wazowski is just barely going to come back there. Like I said, Ultima had a little bit of speed over Mike Wazowski, but Mike Wazowski got over the wall quicker. So we got Lakitu versus Pinball. Pinball got a big win over Bubble last week. Lakitu got a big win over his division as well, and Lakitu's going to get it. Wasn't going to choke that time. So next up, we got Converse versus Blitz. Blitz came up big in week 3 against Ben Cressman. Converse came up big as well, but Blitz is going to be the one to score it. Coming up big for Abby again, getting over the wall just quicker than Converse. It's really a weird measure because there's no specific card that's good for this, you know? We got Mariachi versus Beetle, and that one was close, but it seems like both cards weren't really affected by the wall that much there. Abby is going to take another win, and after a streak of losses, she is seeing a streak of wins. So after a 3-game losing streak, she's now on a 2-game winning streak, so good for her. Peyton, you got to bounce back from that. Next up, we got a divisional rivalry matchup, Ermine versus Ashlyn. Ashlyn took a 3-0 sweep over her division, including Ermine last week. We got Propulsion versus Dragonfly. Ermine in lane 2, Ashlyn in lane 4. Let's see how they fare against the wall. And Propulsion is just going to get a little bit more speed than Dragonfly. I mean, Dragonfly came down quicker, but couldn't get over the wall quick enough. We got Caboose versus Rosalina. Ashlyn was able to sweep her division last time, already off to that start, but Rosalina isn't even affected by the wall. I mean, look at that, just a straight dash over, and Ashlyn's going to tie things up here in the third point here. So Jaguar versus Pop, 2 very good cards. Let's see who's going to get over quicker. Pop barely got over the wall there. Jaguar is going to score a second point for Ermine, and Ermine is 1 point away from putting this away. This would be a big upset for Ermine, would tie things up in the division. We got Bolt versus Celestial, and Celestial, Bolt tips sideways, doesn't even finish. Celestial zooming in there. Ashlyn's going to tie things up here for match point. We got Lugnut, Lugnut versus Paragraph. 2 very interesting cards. Let's see, and it looks like Lugnut just gets held back for a second there, but that gives Paragraph enough time to speed up. Ashlyn is going to advance to 4-1 on the season. Props to her. She is still leading her division. Ermine is going to fall to 2-3. We got Brennan Monahan versus Isaac. This is interesting. Isaac was the one team that survived the upsets last season, and he's currently undefeated. So he's looking to go 5-0 against this Brennan Monahan team. Tokyo versus Magnum. Brennan Monahan lane 2, Magnum in lane 4. And Brennan Monahan's going to score first with Tokyo. This is not a good start for Isaac, but, I mean, still 4 more matchups left. So we got Harvest versus Black Yoshi. Harvest got stuck on the second turn in the second matchup of Squad Skirmish. Black Yoshi is just going to get ahead, and Isaac's going to tie things up here in this matchup here. If Isaac gets this, he's going to go 5-0. So it's a pretty impressive record. Mario and Locomotive. Locomotive just gets fast. Mario gets held up a little bit, which is interesting. You didn't think those Mario characters would get held up, but indeed it did. So Ben Roth and Isaac are our only undefeated teams. Both teams are 4-0, looking to go 5-0 this week. Blaze 2.0 versus AJ Brown. AJ Brown gets a little boost off the wall, and Isaac is going to go 5-0. Look at that. So Isaac survives the upsets again and is going to go 5-0 on the season. What an impressive start to his season. Now we got someone who is not having an impressive start to the season, Blake versus Alex. Blake is currently 0-4. The longest losing streak in a season has been 0-5, which was Ermine last season. Let's see if Blake can hold on and can break this undefeated streak. He's going up against a rough opponent, Alex. Double Shot's going to score first. Blake is in lane 2. Alex is in lane 4. But like I said, Alex is in a tough division. He's 2-2, but really his record should be more like 3-1. Because that division is hard. Pterodactyl versus Wario. Wario puts it in to tie things up. Blake is staying at an even pace here with Alex. But can he keep it up? This second half of Blake's roster has been struggling to produce. But we got Cyan versus Neon. And Neon's just going to get it quicker than Cyan. Alex is 1 point away from putting this match away. Alex wins this. He will go 3-2. Which is a much-needed win for him. I mean, obviously, Blake needs to win 2. Retrograde versus Econ. Econ gets stuck in Retrograde. He's going to tie things up for Blake. This is really close. Blake was incredibly close last week to victory. Forced a tiebreaker, but lost in that. We got Afterlife versus Falcon. Let's see if Blake can do it. Falcon ahead, but Falcon gets caught on the wall. Blake is going to break his undefeated streak. Or not undefeated streak, unwinning streak. It's like the same thing. He's going to go 1-4, which is big because his division, the leaders only have 2 wins. And we're going to take a look at a divisional rivalry matchup here now. Connor versus Ben Cressman. Same division. Connor also has 0 wins. Ben Cressman has 2, though. Ben Cressman is in charge of the division right now. We're going to have Generator versus Blue Shy Guy. Generator in lane 2, Blue Shy Guy in lane 4, and Generator gets caught up. Blue Shy Guy does not. Ben Cressman is going to strike first in this matchup here. Ben Cressman's team is all Mario Kart characters, so that could provide an advantage here to the wall. I feel like they've been performing a lot better. Momo versus Yellow Shy Guy, and Yellow Shy Guy does the same thing. Momo gets caught here. Connor's team is very lightweight, so they're going to have some trouble here. Generator was his best hope at winning, because that's his heaviest car, but Maelstrom has got some weight to him, but Shy Guy is just going to get it in. So Connor's going to fall to 0-4. Ben Cressman is going to go 3-2, I believe, or 3-3 maybe. Yeah, I think 3-3. No, 3-2. 3-2, sorry. So we got Luke and Drew, 2 former divisional rivals. Should be an exciting matchup. Both teams have gone through some switch-ups here. We're going to see Vampira versus Cosmic Coupe. Both were originally drafted by these teams. Now, both these teams actually performed a trade as well. And Cosmic Coupe is just going to barely get it ahead of Vampira. Vampira in lane 2, Cosmic Coupe in lane 4. We're going to see Submersible versus Nuke here. Luke actually traded Nuke to Drew in exchange for Poltergeist, which we will see after this. And Submersible is going to beat the Nuke. If I'm Luke, I'm pretty happy about that because the Nuke has been going off these past 2 weeks, and I think that's definitely frustrated him. We got Poltergeist versus Ace here, Nuke's like twin brother basically, and Poltergeist is going to score another win for Luke. Luke is about to put this thing away. I mean, look at that. The car you traded lost, and the car you traded for won. So we got this exciting rookie sensation, Luke Jr. versus Han Solo. Used to be on Ramin's team, and Han Solo is going to pull it off. Drew is going to tie things up here, and not to rain on Luke's parade, but Han Solo is just on another level. We got Carbon versus Drew's new rookie, Scoville, exchange for Tarantula, and Scoville, can we get a replay on that? I mean, Scoville did it, but how close was that? Oh, you can barely see it. It's slightly ahead, but Scoville is going to win that, and Drew is going to take a win over Luke. Drew's going to advance to 4-1. Luke is going to fall to 3-2. Next up, we got Brendan Chrisman versus Grant. Grant is hoping to get a win. I mean, if you're not hoping to get a win, then you probably shouldn't be doing this. We got Viper versus Surge, 2 very similar looking cars in a way. Grant traded for Surge from Ben Roth, and Surge is going to score the first point for Grant there. Grant sent Bottleneck to Ben Roth in exchange for Surge. Bottleneck was Grant's first round pick, and Surge was Ben Roth's second round pick. So Bubble versus Locust here, and Bubble is going to get over there. Bubble is living out his glory days from Lane's team in the first 2 seasons. Actually, he played for Lane in the first 3 seasons. And now he's on Grant's team. Emu versus X4. Emu is looking to redeem himself, and he does just that. Grant is going to sweep Brendan Chrisman. These are the teams you're going to want to sweep these teams that are struggling. I mean, Brendan Chrisman was a force to be reckoned with in the first 2 weeks, but it's severely fallen off. Grant's going to take that win and go to 4-1. We got Braden versus Kean. Braden is in a very tough division. I mean, obviously you have Isaac 5-0. Peyton is on the way up. Obviously, you lost this week, so that's a little bit of relief for Braden. But we're going to see Lucid versus Brian here. Braden in lane 2, Keen in lane 4, and Lucid gets over the wall quicker. Brian gets held up a little bit. Now, Brian actually used to race for Braden, so that's kind of a cool, which actually, interestingly enough, Pinstripe right here was what was replaced with Brian. So it's kind of interesting to see that. And Pinstripe, oh my gosh, he flipped. If he would have stayed upright, he would have scored that easy point there because Roadster would have not made it over, but that's going to be no points for anyone. So we got Laser versus Noir. So let's see. Laser gets over the wall, and he's going to score for Braden. This is not looking good for Kean here. Kean is going to need something to happen here. He's going to need to win out to force a tiebreaker. We got Fizz versus Tesla here for a match point. And Fizz is going to take it. So Braden is going to sweep Kean. Pinstripe's going to fall over. That could have been a quicker win for Braden, but, it's a pretty good win nonetheless. All right, we got Ben Roth versus Colin. Now, Ben Roth is 4-0. Colin is currently 2-2 after a rough squad skirmish loss in a pretty good division as well. Ben Roth's division, not as difficult, but still, you want to be on top of things. Ben Roth is 4-0. Is hoping to advance to 5-0. Clockwork versus Porto. And Porto is going to score for Colin. Ben Roth in lane 2. Colin in lane 4. That is interesting. Porto gets over the wall quicker than Clockwork. We got Bottleneck versus Bill. Like I said, Bottleneck was traded from Grant's team. Bottleneck gets held up. Bill does not. Bill scores another point for Colin. This is shocking. This is what I mean when we say upsets happen in the wall. I mean, they just happen. We got Sullivan versus Mohawk, and Mohawk gets held up this time. And Sullivan's going to strike for Ben Roth. Can Ben Roth bring it back here and maybe just come back and win? We got Blue Bolt versus Drift. Or not Drift, Jetstream. Drift is next up in Colin's roster. And Blue Bolt barely gets it, but I don't think we're going to need a replay on that one. That was close, but I think not that close where you could tell. So we got Brachio versus Drift. Let's see here. Both these cars are pretty light, and we saw, yeah, just like that. So we're going to go into a tiebreaker. This is going to be pretty exciting here, as we had two uninterrupted streaks of winning. So we're going to see Sullivan versus Porto and Blue Bolt versus Bill. I don't know. Things are looking scary for Ben Roth here. Sullivan versus Porto. Porto just knocked off Clockwork and is going to get Sullivan as well. I mean, even if Blue Bolt wins here, he's going to have to play against Porto then. And that, I mean, Blue Bolt is pretty good at getting over that hump. So I guess just trust in your players and they'll do what they can. And never mind, Bill is going to score. Colin is going to send Ben Roth packing and destroy his undefeated streak. Ben Roth is now 4-1. Colin is now 3-2, which is big because Luke is also 3-2 in his division. We'll see what happens later with Caleb and Micah. But first up, we got Parker versus Emily. Parker looking for a win. He only has 2 wins in a very bad division as well. Ben Cressman got a win earlier. Diddy Kong in lane 2. Turtle in lane 4. Emily's looking for a win as well. That is not how you start it, but Emily's been going on a rough patch. 2 straight losses in squad skirmish and in week 3 after going undefeated. So we got Rex versus Tsunami. She actually got rid of Glazer, which we'll see coming up in... Oh, there's no way. Can we get a replay on that? Rex gets derailed and Tsunami steals that win. Just look at there. Derailed, Tsunami coming up from behind, still getting over that hump, and then just speeds up, accelerates. I don't even think Rex would have qualified if he made it. I don't think he had enough momentum into there. You see that? Anyways, we got Waluigi versus Glazer. Now, Emily has actually spun the wheel for Glazer, so Glazer is this is his last race for Emily. And look at that. Waluigi didn't cross the plane. That isn't going to count for Waluigi. That should have been an easy win, but as you can tell, the sensor did not go off. Typically, that top thing lights up with the lane who finished, but Waluigi did not cross the plane, so that's not going to count. Energizer versus Banana, and Banana is going to score for Emily. That is rough stretch for Parker after Rex derailing and Waluigi not even making it. I mean, still also derailing. So we got Renegade versus Sahara. Parker can still force a tiebreaker here, but Emily's going to take it. So Emily is going to get an exciting win over Parker. Now, Emily actually originally wanted to drop Tsunami, which I think she's probably glad that she didn't drop now because Tsunami came up clutch. Honestly, probably the most clutch out of all those wins that she got today. So next up, we got Lane versus Landon, two teams that are looking for a win. Obviously, both are in pretty good divisions. We got Gas Monkey versus Velvet here. Lane in lane 2 and Landon in lane 4. Velvet just doesn't have that momentum. We saw that in week 4. Those big wide turns just killed Velvet's momentum, and Lane's going to strike first with Gas Monkey. Now, I don't know why Lane hasn't done anything against this. Abstract is 0-5 after flipping. Make that 0-4. Oh, yep, 0-6. So Burgermobile is actually going to cross the plane there. That's what Waluigi should have done, and Rex. But so we got Stego versus Blue. Now, Stego, like we saw with Brachio, Brachio didn't make it over. Stego is going to make it over, but not quick enough for Blue to overtake him, and Landon is going to get ahead of Lane here. This could be it. Senator versus Gotham. Now, Senator used to race for Landon in CRL4, one of Landon's first picks, and Landon is going to take the dub. Now, Senator was on his team when he fell short of a finals win against Drew. He got swept in the CRL2 finals, but let's hope he can make a bounce back. I mean, Burgermobile is interesting. So, this is an interesting rivalry matchup here. We got Caleb versus Micah. Caleb looking to go 4-1. Micah looking to go 3-2. True Blue versus Roly Poly. Caleb in lane 2. Micah in lane 4. Now, Caleb is 1-2 in the wall. Week 3 of... So, first of all, Roly Poly is going to fall over and get that win there. But won in week 3 against Ermine in CRL1. Lost that same week in the tournament against Micah. And then lost against Braden in week 14 of CRL3. Micah's going to score again with Flame, but Caleb is just not good against the wall. He could be going 1-3 here. Micah is just dominating here. Now, this is another car that Micah should have gotten rid of at this point. Blanco is probably going to score unless he gets stuck. Yeah, he's going to score. But Aristocrat is now 0-6. Same thing with Abstract. Can't get around those turns. There's no reason to be keeping this car on his team. There's a bunch of dead weight. Micah could be seeing a lot better production here. We got Nickel versus Spider. Can Caleb turn things around? And no, he cannot. Micah is going to get Caleb. And just like that, everyone in the Campbelltown division is now 3-2 once again. They win together and they lose together. That is interesting. So thank you. That's all the matchups we got. Let's take a look at the records. Ben Roth is still leading his division despite the loss, 4-1. Grant is leading his division with finally a win over Emily, but Emily is renewing her membership. Abby is working her way up the ladder. Ben Cressman gets a third win to secure his dominance over his division. Blake's working his way up with Parker choking against Emily. Isaac still runs his division, but Braden is not far behind, and Peyton is still working his way up the ladder. Campbelltown's all tied up, and Ashlyn and Drew are still fighting for that number 1 spot. Obviously, alphabetical order, so technically they're tied, but Ashlyn is going to get that number 1 spot just because of alphabetical order. Connor is the only team without a win so far, but Blake got that exciting win, and hopefully he can get 2 more and get back on top of his division. So, yeah, that's pretty much all we got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great night.